Frankenstein.
Well, this is how they make those kits, man.
I know.
Somebody has to do it the first time. And then goes, okay, we do it like this from now on. So we got the pipe laid up in here, and we got level in the vise this way. And then we're gonna put this on there, and Granberry's gonna sacrifice his hand, and we're gonna put the level on there and get it level, and then I'll tack it.
Huh?
Sacrifice. Day after me.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Jesus died for me.
Now it's your turn to repay the favor. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna get you guys set up over here. You good? Mm-hmm. Right. Cool. Ow. Okay. What's up?
Okay.
Yes. That'll work better now.
Are you good?
Yeah, it's just
I got a tie.
two crappy tacks. Double check it. Just throw it on there. Make sure you. And pull. Pull. Try it now. There we go. I don't know if it moved it, but whatever. All right, cool. You're good. It's tack. It's not going anywhere. Right. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. And now I'm gonna flip it over and not weld upside down. That is what I need. So I don't want to get the joint too hot and it melt the.
Oh, you can pull it?
Yeah.
Oh, you weld the other side on?
Well, I'll weld it and quench it so that it doesn't get hot. God, I love this welder.
Do you even use John welder anymore?
The what,
The other welder?
that other one, that blue one, I never did use that one.
No, I'm talking about this one right here.
Oh, the little red one? I used it once when I had to.
Is it going back out to the show? Is it going back out to the... You should probably get rid of it.
No, that one I want to keep because it's a little 220 or 110 welder. God, I'm really stoked with the way that came out. Alright, so what I've ended up doing here is I've drilled out the center of those rivets I ground down and I've tapped the holes so I can put these little screws in there. The whole reason I did all that is so when I weld this, my pipe onto this, I don't end up melting the rubber that's here. So you'll see it's still a pretty tight fit on here. And then my nuts, or my bolts, will go on here. Obviously I'll have to get a little washer for them, but that's no big deal. Actually, I don't even think I really need that. And then this will thread down just like so. Obviously it'll tighten. And then when I put this on, boom, it's right here. Now the real question is, can I spin this? Yeah, the answer is yes. It looks like I can. We'll see. Burning bridges as we get to them. I can notch the pipe right. I think that's what I'll do. Is I'll just notch the pipe right there, and I won't weld it right here and right there, and it'll allow me to get my socket on there and tighten her down and in. But yeah, that will keep us together. And this way, if I ever need to replace this down the road, when I get a new one, I can just do the exact same thing, drill it and tap it.
Did the tap work?
Yeah. I just need to make these freaking bolts a little smaller. Yeah. Oh, well, they're pretty short already. I need to make them even shorter. Yeah. Huh? Probably not. I mean, all it's doing is, you know, stuff, so not really too worried about. Hot, 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 hot. That one's still really warm. Actually, this is actually going all the way, so screw it. All right, so now, boom, money.
How you gonna do it? You figured it out yet?
I'm working on it. At this point, I'm just working on getting it in the general location.
And what are you gonna do? Build them out?
So these mounts will mount. See how they're already starting to come together here?
Okay.
And they're gonna go right to that bar. And then I'll have to, then I want to build another bar that comes around the back here.
Right.
So it's the lowest point in the car is a metal fucking chrome molly tube, so the oil pan doesn't hit first. Mm-hmm. And then I will extend these
To curve now.
Well, I'll extend off the back of this here and hook into that bar somehow.
Okay. What about the oil? Don't forget about the oil filter.
Yeah. Oil filter isn't any lower than the deal, so I don't know, I haven't figured all that out yet. I'm working on it. The problem is that, see how there's like little to no downward on this right here?
But you don't want it. Well, once it.
When we put it down on the ground, they're gonna be, you want them to be at weight straight.
Right.
Well, so if we're just above solid now, it's gonna compress a lot, so it's gonna be at an angle.
It's gonna be up like that. So this bar is gonna go up, right?
Yeah, it almost needs to, this whole thing needs to come up a little
more.
I think, but I got some clearance issues on the pan back here at the moment. Actually, I think the whole thing needs to, yeah, I think the whole rack needs to go to me. Oh. Something like that, I think, which would allow me to go further up and in, because that gives me a much nicer angle. But I gotta figure some things out here first, because I'm hitting back here, but I'm hitting lines which I can adjust.
Right, you move on.
I can move the lines, that's not a problem. Question is, where am I at in relation? See, that's the hardest point, is trying to figure out where I need to be. The trick here is, so I know from the stock one, it was roughly either 5 and 11/16 or 15/16 to this mount from where I cut. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, but of course I don't know where that's at.
You gotta change your pants.
No, I'm good. So right about there, yeah, that's the problem, this thing moves. So I can't really go off of this one because I can put that one wherever. So I really need to find that box I wrote it on and get that measurement.
same place.
Basically, well, it's up a little further. If you can look through, there's like just a little bit of a gap between the engine and the and that, which is fine.
It's not gonna go on a long, a solid mount. No.
Well, it's got rubber, but it's not gonna. The motors. So it's okay because the motor's never gonna go up and down. It's hanging down as long as it can right now because the motor's hanging on. Only thing it's ever gonna do is rotate, which you notice it gets more gap on either side. Okay. So I'm not worried about that. My only concerns now are my this way and this way action that I need to figure out, and my side to side action that I need to figure out.
I don't see why it would stop. As long as everything's stationary, all this thing is doing is going in and out.
Yeah.
But they got a pivot point here and a pivot point here, it should still work.
Yeah, so the deal is with it is the better you can make it is when it starts to do lift the front end or go into corners and stuff, it won't start trying to pull your steering wheel on you.
Start on a wobble.
Yeah, well, because what it'll do is, like when you go to pull and the tires come off the ground, the change in the angle will actually turn the tires. So every time you hit the gas, it'll want to turn left or right. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to grab our tape measure. That is not great. If I could take back just a little, I could. I'd make that. Oh, that was probably too much. I'm gonna tack it and see where we go from there. We're gonna do some tacking and some stuff and see where we get. Basically, I'm gonna tack that bracket and then I'm gonna tack that bracket, then I'll probably get the hammer back on and we're gonna try and figure out exactly what our level is on this bumper right here, or one of the flatter surfaces, or even right here probably. Yeah, probably right here. We'll figure out where we're at and we'll match our angle on our rack to that, and then we'll tack this other side in, and then from there I will get the linkage set up on it, and then we'll be actually able to turn the steering wheel and see how it looks and feels, and then from there we'll decide if we like it and burn it in, or I'll cut it all out and we'll start all over. So, all right, we'll catch you back up with you. All right, so we got the mounts all mounted up in here right there, and they're welded in. We still need to build our back mounts off of here and then do our crossbar that we were gonna do, but for now this is where we're getting to. Both sides are welded up and good to go. This is just hanging here right now. And then we've also extended our steering shaft and painted it up. It's just sitting here drying. So as soon as that dries up, we're gonna put this all in, and then we'll have some steering for at least moving the car around and that type of stuff. So it wasn't too much of a pain. Getting it lined up and centered on the shaft was kind of a hard deal, but in the end we got it on there. So we're gonna get it all up in there, and then I'll check back in and show you guys what it looks like when it's there. And then you can watch us push it around and not have to kick the tires 27 times. It's good. Cranberry's excited for that part.
Yes.
Yeah. He just wants to be the guy who sits inside and drives it, but that ain't happening. But, all right, so that's where we're at. All right, so we got the rack all installed back and in. There's tight clearance, but clearance all the way across on everything. And then we got the steering column all installed and everything up in there. So yeah, we're gonna put it on the ground and roll it out of the shop for a while. The thing has been up and down and holding up the lift for a while, and everyone has stuff that needs to get on it. So we're gonna get her out and then we'll go from there. All right, so this is with weight on it. I'm gonna have to edit all the sound out of this, so I'm just gonna do video. You get a good look at the steering column. Hell yeah.